Today we are taking a look at world number one golfer Rory McIlroy.
Call my name, yes, come and say my name. Call my name, I'm never gonna stop if you just call my name. I'm never gonna drop it, gonna take it to the top.
Hey guys, welcome to Pure. If you're new here, this is my series where we talk about some of the best golf swings in the world. We go through them, we discuss why they do some of the things they do, how they compensate for them, and how it can help you guys improve your game and your golf swings. Firstly, I just want to say I hope you guys are all staying safe and healthy at home. It's obviously a difficult time at the moment, but I really appreciate you clicking on this video and taking the time out to watch my content. If you do enjoy it, please hit that thumbs up button, smash that subscribe button, and let's jump straight in. So Rory's golf swing is a pretty iconic golf swing for a lot of reasons other than how much success he's had with it. It's changed very little since he came on tour, but it has actually changed a little bit, and it's probably looking better than ever at the moment. Firstly, let's take a look at Rory in a front-on angle. This is going to be really important to help us understand how his body moves so that we can then take a look at it from down the line. So here we've got Rory set up with a driver from front on. Now the first thing we want to do is have a look at his setup, his posture, his ball position. Ball position's great, just inside that left heel. Spine angle and everything else is perfect. He has a really wide, solid base, set up to hit really high bombs with that driver. Now let's draw a line on Rory's left hip, because this is something we need to talk about in order to understand how his body moves in the golf swing. Because if we draw a line on that left hip, as he takes the club away, we are going to notice that left hip is going to move slightly away from that line. Now, this is something I've seen loads and loads of amateur golfers do, and it's really terrible for them because they do it completely wrong and they don't return to that position. If we notice, Rory actually moves his entire body to the right. He actually moves his entire spine and everything to maintain his spine angle away from the ball. This is one way he creates so much power in the golf swing. Rory is not a big guy, he's not a tall guy. He's pretty fit, he's very mobile, but he's not a big Dustin Johnson type who can hit the ball just miles and miles because of their natural kind of just body structure. He uses his body to great effect, and this is how he creates so much power and is one of the longest hitters in the world. Now, if he takes the club away, we're going to notice he has this amazing one-piece takeaway. It's his entire body moving. It's not a takeaway with the arms or anything like that, or the hands. Rory keeps a triangle between his chest, his shoulders, his upper body and his arms, and then he just turns everything away in one piece, which is a really, really good move and something certainly a lot of you guys could probably do better. So as he starts to get to the top, he starts to bend that right elbow, hinge those wrists a bit more, and then if we stop it at the top of the backswing, he's in this incredible athletic position. That left knee has moved inward slightly to allow for more hip rotation. His spine angle is really nicely tilted away from the target to enable him to hit up on the golf ball. Really, really powerful position. He's created a huge amount of power in that right side that he's then going to unleash down into the golf ball. And if we have a look at that shoulder turn as well, you know, his shoulders have turned well past 90 degrees towards the ground. They're actually pointing past his right foot, which is a huge amount of rotation and natural kind of athleticism and mobility. Now, it is important to point out that Rory is very, very flexible and very, very mobile. If he wasn't, he wouldn't be able to get himself in this position. And this is why a lot of people shouldn't be copying Rory's golf swing, because you're just not going to be able to get your body in the same positions as him unless you have that same athleticism, that same mobility. And you know, some of that is maybe natural, but a lot of it is worked on in the gym through various stretching and physio work, and that takes a lot of time to create. So as Rory starts down, we're going to notice this squatting motion. His spine and his left hip are going to start moving back towards the target, which creates that power that we talked about. Again, he's returning to that position where he really pushes back into the ground and loads really nicely in his sequence. And he's going to really use the ground, and as he comes down into impact, he's going to be pushing up and off the ground, creating as much power as he can and hitting up on that ball. If you look at Rory's belt buckle, it's actually pointing almost up towards the sky. His spine angle is exactly the same, and he's in an incredibly powerful, dynamic position. As we take the swing through to the finish, just really beautiful balanced finish. All the weight is on that left side. Just iconic, huge shoulder turn, huge rotation, beautiful finish. Now guys, let's take a look at it from down the line. So we're going to have a look at this exact same swing from down the line. Again, really beautiful one-piece takeaway. If we pause it level to the ground, you can see he hasn't even moved his arms or wrists or anything from the address position. He's actually just turned his shoulders, his upper body and his hips in order to take the club away. So he has this beautiful amount of width, and the club still really nicely in front of him in his takeaway, which again is going to help him create all that power. As he gets to the top, we're going to see that right elbow start to fold behind him. He gets that right elbow quite far away from his body. This is something, again, he does to create more width, more power. It's something that a lot of players either tend to keep the right elbow very tucked in, like myself. I like to keep it very close to the body, or some people like to keep it further away from the body, and great players have done both. They really have. I think it's more personal preference. It's more what are your tendencies in the downswing that would then affect which one of those you probably should be doing. If we pause it at the top, we can see Rory has this huge turn, huge hip turn, huge shoulder turn again. The club is a little bit across the line, but Rory does hit quite big high draws, and this is something that definitely helps him to hit those. As he starts to transition down, again, watch his lower body, watch for this squatting motion. And if we notice, the club is actually going to be very far behind him. Coming down into impact, it's actually going to be a little bit underneath the plane, but he really likes to hit big high draws, hit up on the golf ball, and this is something that enables him to do that. So as he comes down into impact, watch his lower body start to push up off the ground after he's squatted down, and then beautiful hit up on the golf ball, release the golf club. No real flipping of the hands and arms, everything just turns through nicely together, and we have this beautiful, beautiful balanced finish position. So what can you learn from Rory McIlroy's golf swing that could help you? Well, you can definitely learn how he loads his lower body and how he uses the ground. Huge turn, huge stability in his legs, really strong. They're not flailing around, they're not kind of moving around where they shouldn't. He's not losing balance. He's using the ground so much that squat in transition and then pushing up through impact. But it's important to note for a lot of you guys, he's not jumping up off the ground, and he's also not early extending. His hips and spine angle are exactly the same. They are staying back on that line. And this is something, I think, if you told the average golfer to go and do that, they would just early extend their hips, they'd jump up off the ground, they probably wouldn't get their weight onto their left side, because it does take a huge amount of athleticism, mobility in order to do that. It's not an easy motion to do. But if you really work on it and do it right, you can definitely create amazing consistency, amazing ball striking. And this is something that a lot of the best players in the world, they all do it. It's not one thing for one person, it's not another thing for another. They all have good posture, they all don't really early extend, not many of them, and they just use their bodies, use the ground in a really, really effective way to create that power, create that consistency, and use their lower bodies. I mean, I bet a lot of you guys, if you've been videoing your golf swings, you probably look at the club, you might look at your wrist and your arm positions, but how many of you are actually looking at your lower body, thinking about how you use the ground coming into impact, thinking about your spine angle, early extension, keeping those hips back and everything like that? Because those are the things that are going to really make a difference in your golf swing. Guys, I really hope you have enjoyed this video. Rory McIlroy is one of the best players in the world, and to look at his golf swing is absolutely beautiful. It is a good swing to copy, but you have to be careful, because if you don't have that athleticism, you just won't be able to make the same moves as he does. But obviously he is an incredible talent. I know I can't wait to watch him getting back playing on the PGA Tour. I bet you guys can't wait as well. And I think the PGA Tour starts up again in like a week or two. I'm not sure on the exact date, but we're getting some live golf back. I hope you guys enjoyed the matches with Tiger and Phil, and Rory and Matthew Wolff, Dustin Johnson, Ricky Fowler. I know I did. They were all amazing. If you have enjoyed this video, guys, please do hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on any more videos. And if you want to see more of this series, we have already done some videos on Scott Stallings, Jack Nicklaus, and Ben Hogan as well. So you can check those videos out on my channel as well. Really appreciate it, guys. I'll see you guys soon. Stay safe, stay healthy, and grip it and rip it.
Call my name, yes, come and say my name.